For a few seconds, the most powerful navy on Earth was closer to losing control than anyone realized. Breaking right now, American naval power is exploding into overdrive as the Titan-Strangle protocol is activated. Forget the old reports. Confirmed updates now reveal 8 U.S. sailors have been injured in the fire aboard the USS Eisenhower. But don't be fooled. The U.S. Navy isn't licking its wounds. It's surging 10,000 fresh troops and 3 full carrier strike groups directly at Tehran's throat. This is no longer just a standoff, it's a countdown to total dominance. What would you do if you were the captain of a United States supercarrier facing Iranian missile barrages and fast attack craft swarms in the narrow kill zone of Hormuz? Would you hit back harder or hold the line until the full surge arrives? Drop your thoughts in the comments right now, because this naval showdown is live and we want to hear your take as American steel steams toward the latest incident hit the USS Eisenhower on April 14th, while the massive nuclear-powered supercarrier sat pier side at Norfolk Naval Shipyard for scheduled maintenance after its long Red Sea deployment, hammering Iran-backed Houthi targets. While rivals focus on laundry fires and rationed meals, they miss the lethal reality these setbacks have only steeled the resolve of American steel. Despite the technical mishaps at Norfolk and the grit of eating processed rations in the Red Sea, the mission hasn't slowed by a single knot. These 10,000 troops aren't complaining, they are advancing. The U.S. Navy is turning logistical friction into fuel for the most aggressive naval buildup of the decade. 8 sailors suffered minor injuries in the blaze, which broke out during routine yard work on propulsion systems, core infrastructure, crew habitability upgrades, combat system modernizations, and aviation support enhancements. Crew and shipyard teams contained the fire, fast-treated the wounded, and returned them to full duty. Officials say the cause is still under investigation, but the upgrades are critical, extending the ship's life and keeping it razor-sharp for future global fights. This marks the second carrier fire this year, after a laundry facility blaze on the USS Gerald R. Ford during peak Iran conflict operations that medically evacuated 1 sailor and treated 2 others for minor burns. Setbacks like these test readiness, yet they highlight the unbreakable spirit of United States sailors who keep these floating fortresses mission-ready even under pressure. Complaints about limited food supplies have surfaced from sailors and Marines aboard ships like the USS Abraham Lincoln and USS Tripoli, with photos showing small portions of boiled vegetables, dry meat patties, and processed gray slabs. Families hear stories of rationing and scarce fresh produce during extended Middle East deployments. These reports spread amid the massive buildup, but they do not slow the United States Navy one knot. Instead, they fuel the drive to finish the job and bring every warrior home stronger. Iran is responding with desperate fury. The Iranian army spokesman, Brigadier General Mohammad Akhramania, delivered a chilling television warning on April 16th. If United States forces attempt any ground incursion, not a single invading soldier will be left alive. The Army chief has ordered every unit to fight to the death. Military advisor Mohsen Rezai openly boasted he wants America to invade so Iran can spring a trap, take thousands of hostages, and demand $1 billion each in ransom. Iran is responding with desperate fury, but their claims smell like fear. IRGC intelligence is desperate to spread rumors of 734 resignations, painting a picture of American despair. But ask yourself, is this intelligence, or is it a frantic psychological smokescreen? While Tehran broadcasts propaganda to hide their collapsing defenses, U.S. commanders are treating these claims as empty bluster. The truth despair isn't in the US. Fleet, it's in the Iranian bunkers watching 3 carrier decks prepare for launch. Iranian units remain on maximum alert, treating the fragile ceasefire like active war. But these threats only prove how cornered Tehran has become. While Iran talks big, its navy lies shattered. Its economy collapses and its fast attack craft hide from American carrier strike groups. The United States' answer is thunderous. Fresh reports confirm 10,000 additional troops are flooding into the Middle East before the ceasefire expires on April 22nd. The USS George H.W. Bush Carrier Strike Group is already en route carrying 6,000 personnel and a full air wing ready to dominate the skies and seas. The Boxer Amphibious Ready Group follows close behind with 4,200 Marines, helicopters, landing craft, and rapid deployment capability for coastal strikes or island seizures near the Strait of Hormuz. When they arrive, the United States will operate 3 carrier strike groups simultaneously: the Abraham Lincoln, the Gerald R. Ford, and now the George H.W. Bush, creating the most powerful naval armada the region has ever seen. This surge directly backs President Trump's ironclad maritime blockade on Iranian shipping. Destroyers and frigates patrol the Gulf of Oman line, transmitting crystal-clear warnings to any vessel trying to run it. Junior officers on the bridge grab the microphone and declare, "Do not attempt to breach the blockade. Vessels will be boarded for interdiction and seizure. Turn around or prepare to be boarded. If you do not comply, we will use force." Iranian ships have turned back 13 times already, sensing the compression of American air power overhead and gray hulls closing fast. The tactic is rehearsed flawless and unstoppable. But here's the problem. Absolute control only works until it doesn't. This is sea power at its peak. Carrier decks launch fighters that own the airspace, while escort destroyers hunt surface threats, and submarines prowl below, ready to crush any Iranian submarine or mine-laying attempt. The physics of naval combat here is brutal. Iranian missiles and drones streak toward American formations only to meet layered defenses from carrier air wings, Aegis cruisers, and electronic warfare suites that jam, and destroy. One wrong move by Tehran, and the full weight of 3 carrier strike groups will unleash precision strikes that turn Iranian naval assets into burning wreckage. Contingency plans are already drawn for limited special forces operations inside Iran to secure buried uranium stockpiles or seize key islands controlling the strait. No full-scale invasion, but targeted, overwhelming force that denies Iran any escape route for its aggression. The contrast could not be sharper. Iran brags about trapping American troops and holding hostages for ransom, while the United States Navy quietly builds an unstoppable armada. Fires and food complaints are real, yet they pale against the raw power projection happening right now. 10,000 troops streaming in 3 carriers converging, and the Strait of Hormuz turning into an American lake where every Iranian provocation meets instant, decisive response. This surge mirrors the United States Navy's iron grip in other hotspots, like the South China Sea, where carrier strike groups enforce freedom of navigation against any challenger. Gray hulls, steady wakes, and unbreakable resolve are the message. Iran can threaten all at once, but American sea control is absolute. Midway through this high-stakes naval drama, the question burning on every mind is simple. Will Iran finally back down and open the strait, or will it force the United States to unleash the full fury of 3 carrier strike groups in a decisive sea battle? Do you believe this massive troop and carrier surge will crush Iranian resistance in days? Or will Tehran's bluster drag the fight into open water combat? Tell us in the comments right now, because your voice drives the conversation as American warships steam toward destiny and the world holds its breath. Pentagon leaders remain confident. The Eisenhower fire is contained. The Ford incident is history, and the new arrivals will lock down the region before any ceasefire deadline. Admiral Brad Cooper and General Randy George have already proven the United States can rescue downed airmen from deep inside Iran, execute flawless blockades, and integrate 4 of the world's best air forces into one seamless machine. Every transport plane landing, every refueler topping off fighters, and every Marine loading onto landing craft adds another layer of overwhelming strength. Iranian claims of American despair are propaganda lies meant to mask their own collapsing morale as their economy disintegrates under the blockade, and their leaders panic over zero revenue from failed toll schemes. This is the reality unfolding in the Strait of Hormuz and across the Middle East. The United States Navy is not reacting, it is dictating. 3 carriers, 10,000 troops, and contingency plans for special forces strikes. If diplomacy fails, Iranian fast attack craft that once raced aggressively now scatter at the sight of American steel. Missile launchers on the shore stay silent because they know the response would be swift and devastating. The blockade holds firm, merchant traffic flows safely, and global oil routes remain open under United States protection. Fires, injuries, and supply strains test the force but never break it. Instead, they steel the sailors and Marines who know they are part of the most powerful Navy in history, writing the next chapter of victory. Listeners, this is your war correspondent live from the edge of the Hormuz naval confrontation. The United States is unleashing hell with 10,000 troops and 3 carriers surging to crush Iran's aggression once and for all. Gray hulls cut the waves. Fighter jets roar off carrier decks, and the message to Tehran is unmistakable. Stand down or face total sea dominance. What do you think happens when the George H.W. Bush arrives and the full armada assembles? Will Iran fold? Or will we see the decisive naval battle the world has been waiting for? The clock is ticking. With the USS George H.W. Bush closing in and the April 22nd ceasefire deadline looming, the window for diplomacy is slammed shut. We are hours away from seeing if Tehran folds or if the Strait of Hormuz becomes a graveyard for Iranian ambitions. What happens the moment the Bush arrives and the 10,000 troops hit the shore? The world holds its breath and the U.S. Navy is ready to exhale fire. Drop your final predictions below. The Armada is assembled, and the next update could be the start of the decisive battle. Stay locked in, the storm is here. Disclaimer: this video contains content generated or supported in whole or in part by artificial intelligence. This material is intended solely for simulation illustration and entertainment purposes. It does not represent real-world events, nor does it constitute political or military advice or verified information. Certain elements may be fictional, dramatized, or inaccurate. Viewers should not rely on this video as a credible source of information or as a basis for real-world decision-making.